We are going to need to stock up on some kind of supplies, because our clansmen have been through a lot. Hello, Eyvind. You're really worried about her, aren't you? What? Oh, Juno. Worry doesn't begin to describe it. If she doesn't find us here, or something has happened to her... Are you sure what you saw was real? It could have been a dream, or I don't know. You were pretty exhausted. I don't know. To be honest, I'm not sure anymore. Everything is a blur. Don't tell the others I said that. I have to hope it wasn't a dream. What's it like to be a mender? Being a mender? I guess I never really thought about it like that. It's just part of me. They knew very young that I would join the order. Born into it, you could say. My mother and father, both menders. The guild is for lots of people now, builders and healers. Do they all pull lightning out of the sky? No, that's not normal. It's one of the reasons I know Juno. She's one of the council. She helps me control things like this, so we don't end up scaring people. How exactly does weaving work anyway? Well, the hardest part is usually seeing the threads. Everything is part of the tapestry. It's made of threads woven together. If you can see the threads, you can manipulate them. I don't know how to explain it really. It's like trying to play a harp with invisible strings. Look at my staff, for example. Some menders carve intricate patterns in the wood to help them remember the shapes of... like I said, hard to explain. Why is the Bellower still following us? I saw Grofheim as it burned. Eyvind gets a faraway look in his eyes. The sunder blew through it like a tempest. The varl fell in the thousands. Most of the sunder left the city and headed south. Who knows where they are now? They might be destroying every town they come to, or heading towards Aberang. Bellower stayed in Grofheim just for the sport of it, I think. As we fled Einartoft, I thought he must want to wipe the varl off the map completely. But then he came after us. Maybe he knew Ivor was the one who killed Raze. Maybe. But let's just make sure he doesn't catch us. Do you think this is the end times? I don't know what to think. I wish I could give you a better answer. Even if we escape the dredge, that serpent said a darkness was covering the world. I don't know how long that will take, or what it means even. I'm just trying to solve one problem at a time. The menders are in Aberang. If we can find ships and make it to the capital, we might have a chance. I won't take any more time. No, it's okay, Rook. I appreciate the talk. It's good to stay grounded. I spend all day worrying about serpents or sunder. I think a lot of people are intimidated, or scared maybe, of me. Don't worry, it's nothing new, I'm used to it. Maybe sometime we can talk about things that don't include the world ending. Chances seem spotty at best. We're having a tough time here. Let's review the map. Starting a new session. So I don't remember great deals about where we were. So we're in Sigrahome. We made our way here from... Was it Einartoft, I believe, was the last battle we had? Yeah, we went from Wormtoe, and we were headed towards Grofheim, found out it was destroyed, so we went to Einartoft. So we've now gone from Skolgar all the way around like this. Very long path. Heading towards a southern forested area. Forests seem, yep, completely non-existent in the north. Well, they existed because we had forest-related decisions to make, but this is specifically dominated by its forest traits more than it is mountains. Down here there's even a delta at the Schwartbog. So this should be a very welcome change in appearance, but Aberang is so far away. It's the opposite side of the continent from where we started it with Rook, and about double the distance we've taken so far, not even counting the fact that we took a crazy detour along the way to get here in the first place. So he's having a hell of a journey. Don't know if we'll ever play as Hakon again in this game, or if that's something that's waiting for the sequel or not. So we should review what I want to do if I want to upgrade characters, for example. Because I could use some upgrades, but I could also use an opportunity to level up. Let's look at our crew here. Who's kind of missing? Is it Nid? Should I have Nid in there? Isn't Nid pretty good because she has like an armor piercing capability, right? Oh yeah, she has bonus range. Bonus range and puncture does bonus damage against armored targets, so I really like the idea of upgrading her. But if she has to get kills for us to even move in that direction. Meanwhile, Krumer is already upgraded, so it makes sense to keep him around. So maybe it's yeah. It might be hard to find a spot for Nid, honestly. Get Krumer up front there. This is probably a good enough crew, really. Ivor, not available for upgrade. Not Krumer. Alette is available for upgrade, hit level 3. That would cost 10. Oddleaf, no. Avent, obviously level 5 already. Rook, he's kind of a priority. Because he shouldn't be leaving the story, hopefully. I'd get him up to level 4, which would be fantastic. Cost me 15, though, which is not fantastic. Let's look at the market and make a decision based on that. Those are a lot of options. Many of them expensive. No! 1 renown gets you 3 supplies. Oh my god. You just don't get that much supplies from buying stuff, unfortunately. That's tragic. What if I spend 5? 5 of my renown gives me 2 days of supplies. Oh no. I think this is going to be my best option. Alright, I think we're going to spend 10 renown here. That takes us down to 15. And then I'll spend the rest to upgrade Rook. And I think that's the best we're going to get out of this situation. Unfortunate. But renown is always thin. Right, running out of upgrades here, so what exactly do I want to go for? He's a good person to have willpower, but he's doing pretty good in willpower already. A little bit more armor piercing would be nice. Let's give him that ability. What's the item he's on him right now? Just a little dodging. Yeah, let's give him his armor piercing. The humans are good for that. And frankly, the armor piercing is such an all-around problem all the time that it's worth counting. We're 1 kill away from his next upgrade, his final upgrade. It's weird thinking that way, huh? The entire campaign, in the entire campaign, a character gets 14 kills, and then it gets them to max level, if you have the renown to spend on them at least. It's a surprisingly small number, but combat actually makes up a surprisingly small amount of this game. What are we gonna do in this town? Do we have a reason to stay here is the question. We could rest, or we could just leave. Our goal is clearly to get to Aberang, which is quite a ways away. And if I could rest, doesn't that... I'm pretty sure resting costs us supplies every day, right? And we are so low. I feel like we just need to get going and try to make it to the next town as fast as possible, because then each new town we get to should give me new opportunities to scavenge for supplies. Everyone's giving us shifty eyes, and they look hungry, they said, which makes me think that we're just gonna get robbed. And I need the damn supplies, so I think I'm just gonna get out of here. Rook, wait, please. Avon begs. She said she'd be here. We need her. You can tell he's terrified of leaving, as though he'd be giving up on Juno. I'm sure she'll catch up with us. Avon looks out across the lake with a 1,000-mile stare. He says nothing. We've got problems, says Ivor. The whole place is flooded. We could try to walk the muddy parts, but it'll be slow going. We could try to float the caravan over the lake, but we might tip or get stuck. Or we could just go around the whole thing, but no idea how long that'll take. What do you think? Oh man. But yeah, I think we have to leave Juno behind. We can't confirm that she's real. My caravan of hundreds of people is starving to death at this rate. And any amount of waiting we do is not good. But the council's in Aberang, so she knows what direction to go in if she is real and is actually coming, but I can't confirm that she's real in the first place. Alright, so looking at these, a detour would be bad, because I feel like a detour would just blow away a ton of our supplies. And I'm worried about fording the river or caulking the wagons, because it feels like both of those are just creating a problem where we could just, like, we could have a catastrophic loss of supplies. So I think the best way to maintain our supplies is probably going to be to sacrifice a little bit of them to the locals to help us out. The locals become a lot more helpful when you swallow your pride and start offering food for help across the river, give you a small fishing boats to borrow, and show you the area with the best chance of making it across. You hope your luck holds out as you launch from the shore. Despite, or you suspect, because of your vigilance, the locals of Sigbjorn don't try anything underhanded as they take you in their small boats to the other side of the lake over several trips. You leave them with a generous amount of food, and they row back to their town. You hope it's worth it to buy some space from the Bellower, who will have to drag his armies through the mud on foot. Also, they're probably going to kill the locals, but we'll just ignore that. Well, I'm down to 3 days of supplies already. Hope we get somewhere real fast, or I'm not going to be doing great. Poor guys. Yeah, that entire town of starving people is just going to get killed by the Bellower soon. Is there a floating tree up here that's not supposed to be here? It looks weirdly out of place and darker than the rest. And it's like in the foreground or something. The caravan consists of more clansmen than you ever expected. Accusations of stolen chickens, missing heirlooms, and concerns over daughters' virtues are the sorts of things you hear relentlessly. Even fighters complain of spreading too thin to protect everyone. We can carry on and just put up with it, try to address the major issues, try to keep people useful and too busy for petty squabbles, or form a council to handle the problems. Trying to keep everyone busy actually sounds like a really good idea, because everything's going to be a mess. But we need to then focus at the task at hand. When did I get 10 renown for doing that thing I did earlier? I guess that'll be my opportunity to get more supplies at the next location. Please, guys, just chill out. Just keep busy. We're trying to not die in the apocalypse. Don't care about your fucking chickens. Firewood collection, scouting and gathering of edibles, weapon training and wagon repair keep your clansmen busy, and usually too tired to complain. The chores slow the caravan, but the resulting peace and productivity feels worth it. Hey! We just magically got supplies. That makes up for what we had to pay back there. Unfortunately, we're back to being sad. Poor, poor, sad clansman. As you're about to head off to sleep for the night, Onef pulls you aside. I have a couple of concerns I wanted to speak with you about, he says, in private. You find a quiet place to talk. What's on your mind? How well do you know the people traveling with us? How many strangers are in the caravan now? Who are you worried about? I've been watching folks since I joined you. Your companions from Skogar, they're loyal. I mean, it seems pretty clear they'd die to protect you. I suppose I'd do the same. What about the varl? You don't even know half those warriors. You're telling me you have no problem following... You're telling me they have no problem following a man's orders now? After everything that happened in Anertoft. I trust Ivor to handle it. He's fearless, I'll give you that. But look at him, he's run ragged. He can't be there all the time. What happens the first time the varl don't want to do what you tell them? If Krumer gave the word, I guarantee at least half would follow. Let's be honest, they could take this caravan by force. At any time. If they wanted to. What do you suggest? I suggest growing some balls instead of hoping it all works out, Rook. They're not the biggest problem, though. There's a mender with us, a mender who pulls lightning out of the sky and tells us what to do and where to go. Myself, I think we lucked out when his mentor didn't show up in Sigbjorn. Avon's just the apprentice? What in the depths is his master capable of? Think about it, Rook. What do you really know about Avon? I heard they were found practically dead in the middle of nowhere when the dredge started showing up. Then an enormous serpent shows up in Anertoft after tearing the world in half, takes one look at Avon and bolts. Suddenly they need our help instead of the Mender Council? How does that make any damn sense? Not sure if that's true. It didn't seem like the serpent necessarily left just because of him specifically. It seemed like he just didn't, in particular, it seemed like the serpent just wasn't really interested in the squabbles of men and Dredge and Varl. He has larger tasks at hand, and he was off to go after Juno in particular. Well, we don't know that, but he seemed to just wander off, basically. Like just he was watching ants fight. He didn't care, so he left to do whatever he's actually here for. As far as Avon giving us commands, I don't think that's accurate either. He begs us basically to go to certain locations, and right now we're practically defying him because we didn't stay around in the place that he was hoping we would. You might be distorting what happened. Or Avon might be. I'm grateful for what you've done to get us this far, Rook. But it's always been about trust. I think it's time to part ways, so to speak. Nothing personal. Suddenly, you gasp for air. When you look down, Onef is holding a knife buried deep in your ribs. Son of a bitch. You're just gonna freaking throw... Wow, okay. Just out of nowhere, he's just trying to kill me. Your vision blurs and blood fills your sight. You gasp again. There's a bird whistle, and the camp becomes a blur of motion. Onef's fighters from Frostveller leap into action, cutting people down. 12 clansmen just like that. As Oddleaf turns to fire on the men, Onef runs her through and pulls the blade from her back without even breaking his stride. She drops like a sack of flour. Onef heads straight for Alette, who freezes in unbridled terror. You rise to your feet through the pain. Oddleaf is dead. Somehow, you find the strength to cleave the nearest traitor in two, but you can't find the breath to shout. You think your lung might be punctured. Onef clutches Alette's wrist amidst the commotion, tosses her bow aside, and pulls her into the deep woods. Her eyes meet yours across the campsite. No, her lips say, though you can't hear the words. A dozen men appear between you and Ivor, or between you as Ivor steps into the view, as fearsome as you've ever seen him. Fucking Oddleaf's damn it! Well, there goes both of my archers I was using. Holy shit. Welcome to the crew, Nid. Nice to meet you. Son of a bitch. It might make sense story-wise to bring Ekkill in. He's the big suspicious crazy guy, but it was his goddamn friend that's the one who actually betrayed us in the end. And he freaking killed Oddleaf. Wow. That's pretty shitty. That's a serious problem. Let's see. Who do I want to bring in? Trigby's already upgraded at least. 811. 1011. Not bad. Extra armor. 2-2 at the bottom. 1-1 at the bottom. So he doesn't have the armor break, but he's got a decent amount of armor and strength to start off. But he doesn't have the bonus range. And the bonus range is kind of nice. I don't know. I like Trigby. He seems like he's less likely to betray me, even though he's kind of crazy. Although we haven't had a lot of outbursts for a while. God damn. Nid is just someone in the crew that's here because they were trained specifically by Oddleaf. And now she's just straight up dead. That's really shit. That's just pretty shitty. 1 strength resist. Oh yeah, we have a lot of high value items that no one can really use in this party. Rook's injured because he got stabbed. Thanks for that too, by the way. So many level 5 items that no one can really use. Chance of double damage is probably good for Nid, because she does bonus damage against enemies that have reduced armor. So if she does bonus damage from that, and then also gets double damage from her crit, that'd be handy. Trigby doesn't have an item right now. Some of these characters have been upgraded potentially since the last time they got their new item. 1 armor, 1 strength, 1 willpower. Do I have something better for a level 3? 1 strength resist. Oh, just in general? That'd be pretty good. I believe 1 strength resist means that he will just take 1 less strength damage all the time. That seems like a good plan. God damn it. I'm just bummed out that Oddleaf's dead. I was getting used to her as being like one of my main characters to use. And she was cool. We had a whole subplot with her where she, like, trained fighters out of the women. And now we have Nid. At least there's a legacy for that storyline, I guess. Alette and Nid are the people that are taking after her. So if we can keep Alette alive, hopefully, as we're going to rescue her here, then between Alette and Nid, at least there's something left of Oddleaf. So this is Ivor. He still has Battering Ram, even though he doesn't have a shield anymore. That's rather amusing. What are these guys? A bunch of dumb humans. Backbiter, Archer, Raider. Just a bunch of generic characters, basically. No immediate mention of the lead dude. I think I just want to get ready to siege them from all sides. Set ourselves up from, yep, direct line of sight to go after them. If we hit them up front right away, it'll give us a opportunity to strike past the bad guys down there. Oops. That probably worked fine too, though. Yeah, either of these are fine, really. Most of these characters want to stay out of range, but yeah. We swarm these guys, take out some of their ranged characters right off the bat, potentially. In fact, I might want to position myself to go straight at that one. Even. Maybe. No, let's be in the right distance to swarm the bad guys right up here. Yeah, I think this is good. Let's go make a mess. You're about to find out why you shouldn't mess with the guy that has all those nice human friends. Why is the number red? Is it because of morale? Willpower -1 from weak morale. Oh no. That's a bummer, but there's not a lot to do about that. I've been trying to help. But everyone's slowly starving to death. It's a good situation to be in, you know? No, it's not. Yay! Bounce that damage around. They barely have strength to begin with. That's handy. Hello, friend. How do you feel about 1 hit point? And the bounce continues. I got the bounce to crit on that guy. Handy. We could probably diagonal attack that guy. Oh, we're slightly out of range. That's fine. I can get slightly better positioning. There we go. Bounce it across these two guys. Diagonal. Right? Am I doing it right? Yes, I am. 1 down, 1 significantly harmed, and the back row of people are showing up now. I can hit the archer from here, so I'll work on her. Take her down to half strength. Alright. They have 3 weak characters, 3 strong. And if we distribute things nicely, we can take good advantage of that. Bird of Prey will give me bonus range. What can I do against these guys? Let's see. Let's review. 100% chance to hit. That's all. That's the only real detail there. I'll try working on one of these guys. Give it a shot. Build an expectation of how effective it is. Oh, they're here to be a problem, huh? Well, I can't really reach anyone with Trigby right now, besides the character that, frankly, is better off left alive. So we'll start our approach, and that'll be that for now. Not the armor. Oh wow, he actually is pretty low on armor right now. Not preferable. Ah, we can't even reach half these guys now, huh? Might just have to settle for crushing some of them at this point. The archer at least is a better source of lost strength. Boing. And bouncing damage. Hey, buddy. I prefer being alive, thank you very much. Ooh, that's bad for him. Attacked on all sides. He's becoming quite the target. Ooh, they were nice enough to line up for me. I can take good advantage of this. Starting with the weak one because it bounces and gets powerful. More powerful with each bounce. Oh, I hit my teammate. I didn't think about that possibility as much as I should have. Still, we did so much strength damage to the enemy team that I think it was worth it. Who can hit that guy? Not really a lot of people, huh? Still give it a shot. He'll get hit by the archer and... yeah, and the varl. And myself. Oh, double deflection. I did not properly think about that possibility. And now I feel dumb. Well, 70% chance is pretty garbage. How about armor damage? Not a lot to do there either. Maybe I'll focus on weakening this guy. Oh, crap chance of hitting there too. She really is untrained. Alright, bird of prey. 100% chance to hit. It's at least something. Oh. They're making their way right over here. Okay. Let's review what the skill does. Impale. Knock back one tile. Target bleeds 1 strength per move on the next turn. That's not going to come up that much, really. Impale's a bit underwhelming. But I could do some damage here. I've got some armor break. That'll take out a chunk. Ooh, that is a big armor break you got there. Alright. How's the strength doing? 2, 3, right. Click that one. Okay, I can't see crap. Never mind. 1, 10, 3. Yeah, so there's obvious target here. And he was down to 3. Oh. That bouncing damage is very useful. Let's see. At this point, the fight's basically over, so I'm just going to walk away. Because Avon should not get killing blows in this kind of fight. Let's mend someone who needs the armor the most. That's going to be Rook. Just give them some bonus armor back and let them finish things off, because these characters should get the kills, because they're the ones that will benefit from it. Let's see. Can I kill this guy? Yes. Bye. Ow. Still, they're spending their time working on armor when I've already taken it out, so that's good. It's Nid's turn. She can do 1 damage plus 1. Yep, that'll kill. There we go. A little credit for her, too. They're very focused on that specific opponent. Stop poking my friend. Oh, pillaging happening. Fortunately for him, he's totally surrounded. And Ivor wants to play. Seriously, where's my daughter now? Come on, man. I had to make that one. Like, probably like 17 years of investment. Give her back. The renown will help for upgrading those characters that are still alive, hopefully. Where is Alette? Shouts Ivor, tearing through the nearest bandit. But you're already hobbling into the deepest woods where they disappeared, ignoring the battle raging behind you. In a haze of pain, you start to think you've lost their tracks. Then you hear Alette screaming in the distance, followed by silence. You tear through the trees. In a small clearing, Alette lies with her back against a tree. Her hands and her clothes are covered in blood. She stares vacantly ahead, unblinking. Besides her is the body of Onef, an arrow buried in his right eye, as if placed there by hand. She looks in your direction, and then at Onef. I killed him, she says. They totally did that. They toy with the idea that she got murdered by having her staring forward, unblinking. But then a moment later, we'll show you that all the blood is actually the guy that caused all this. At least he got what he deserved, but god damn it, he got Oddleaf. I'm not happy about that. Rook. Oh no, Alette. Are you alright? You cringe as much from the pain as the appearance of Alette after her bloody struggle with Onef. No, I'm not hurt. I had no choice. Dad, your chest, you're bleeding. Suddenly, she's at your side, putting pressure on the wound. I can fix this. Where's my needle? Oddly, anyone. Ivor, I found them. Just as your sight goes black, you see Avend, Ivor, and Alette standing over you. Probably the only people I can feel like I can trust at this point. He's going to make it? Your eyes open to the sound of Alette's voice. Normally, a wound like that, I only hope I did enough. I'll survive. Dad! Alette stops herself from hugging your bandaged chest, pulling your head to her instead. The words come out easier than you expect. Oddleaf? It's a good thing Avend was here. She's going to pull through. Though it was a nasty wound. What, Oddleaf's alive? You said she was dead. Don't fuck with me, man. Stop it. We managed to kill most of those traitorous sons of bitches, and the rest fled into the woods. There were a lot of people I couldn't save. You did everything you could, Avend. No one expects you to raise the dead. Apparently he just did, though. Avend frowns deeply, putting a hand to his forehead. Why did Onef do this, Rook? He was talking to you right before it happened. He thought my leadership would get us killed. Utter bastard. All this time we had no idea. Ekkill killed a good half-dozen of Onef's men by himself. He told me Enef was running Frostfeller the whole time. He left Frostfeller behind when he saw a better opportunity. Guess that relationship's over. Ekkill was always just the barking dog you put in the yard to find out who your enemies are. It was no accident Onef went after those of us from Skoger. He must have thought with us gone he'd take the banner and the rest would fall in line. Or at worst, they'd take all the supplies for themselves and leave the rest as dredge bait. We have to be more careful. We can't let just anyone join the caravan anymore. Where do you draw the line, Ivor? I don't know, Rook. I really don't. None of this changes the fact that Bellower is out there somewhere following us. The swamp around Sigurholm might buy us some time, but we've got to keep moving. Your body aches all over, but Ivor's right. The road calls. The caravan is already starting to pack up camp. So Oddleaf's alive. Oddleaf is alive. Holy shit. You made me so sure that she was freaking dead and she's back? Alright, wow. I was talking about her legacy and shit. See how that goes. So Ekkill worked for him the whole time as just like a henchman and was never in charge. So Onef just lied to us this entire time. Huh. It would have been relatively... There wasn't a lot of opportunities to kick him out either. He joined the squad pretty easily, using Ekkill as sort of the... Yeah, basically a red herring to make us think that he was the proper thing to worry about. At least we have 19 more resolve. We can't buy supplies right now, but we can upgrade some characters.
Look who it is, still not dead. How are things, Rook?
I can never guess with you, Ekkill. I heard you helped drive off the traitors when Onef attacked us. And it leaves me always wondering, what's your deal?
It's not hard to understand. Why don't you try asking instead of telling? Why don't you try asking instead of telling?
Why did you stick with him?
I don't know, Rook. Family makes you do weird things. You know what the worst part is? We became kin when he married my sister. She died of fever one night. But she didn't. She wasn't sick. He killed her. I didn't know why he did it. Maybe he just felt like it. I was so furious, I got so angry that I wanted him to beg. I could kill him without a second thought. But that wasn't enough. I wanted him to feel sick about it, puke his guts out. And somehow that turned into, over time, he never cared. And I gave up, and did what he wanted. Don't know how it happened. When I attacked you at Frostfeller, guess I'll just say it wasn't my idea.
Why didn't you warn us about Onef?
Didn't I? How many times did I have to call him a traitor before you got the message? What'd you want me to say? Watch out, Onuf's going to murder your whole family. He didn't fill me in on the details. He was always like that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to convince you to off me. But listen, I don't need to know. So keep it to yourself.
Well, you're welcome to stay with us. He's earned his place at this point. At this point, I would say, if he was slaughtering one of his men during that.
Had no plans to go anywhere. So you're going to let me walk around with my own axe and everything.
That doesn't mean I'm not watching you.
I can accept that. You're a good man.
I need to get going.
And I need to take a piss. You're not the only busy man around here, you know.
You shake your head at Ekkill as Ekkill steps away from the camp. So, in the aftermath of treasonous behavior, we're having certain characters sort of cemented as being allies. Everyone from our original town, obviously, was pretty loyal to begin with, but it's hard to be suspicious of Eyvind when he's constantly saving the life of everyone. He saved Ivor's life, he saved my life, he saved Onef's life, he saved Oddleif's life. That's 3 people already. 3 of my favorite people, probably, at this point, yeah. Well, yeah, the protagonist, his friend, and the chieftain's wife from that same clan. How was the wound? You notice Oddleif wince as she rises to greet you. It's doing a lot better. When I saw it happen, I thought for sure... well, I'm really glad you're... You would have missed me, Rook. She smiles. Without Eyvind, that's all you could have done. Instead, you have to put up with my crap a little longer. It still aches like you wouldn't believe, though. Oh, maybe you would. Heard you took a stabbing yourself. I guess things could have gone worse. It's a good thing we have that blasted character around. Without Eyvind, everyone was screwed, basically. How's your husband doing? Oddleif's smile falls like a lead weight. I'm sorry, Rook. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. He died in Einartoft. It just didn't seem like the right time to, put that burden on you. I should have said something. It's been lonely without him. I'm glad to have a lad around. And you, Rook. What do you think about the caravan? You mean, should we start kicking people out? That's a tough one. Usually I'd be the first to give you a dirty look for suggesting it. On the other hand, I got a sword in my back. Oddleif thinks for a long moment before sighing. Don't send anyone away. Just make sure nothing happens to Alette. I'll leave you to get some rest. Okay, thanks. I'll take you up on that. You're welcome to keep me company. When I'm a little more awake, I'll talk to you later. Yep, I think I said before that part of what positions Rook as being the stereotypical protagonist is that he has a daughter for sympathy points. He looks like the usual grizzled white guy protagonist character, and he even seems to have a love interest. And yeah, I was pretty sure early on that the chieftain was going to die, and Oddleif was going to be on our own, and that there was going to be suggestions that could go somewhere. Just to review where we are and what that means. Oh, yep, there's Einartoft way back there. So we made it to Einartoft, and then while we're dealing with all the varl stuff, the chieftain died. Sometime way back there. And we've been adventuring for a while since then without even knowing. There's so many location names, sometimes I just kind of have to review. We could look into leveling somebody up. Oh, Ivor's ready to be level 4. He's probably a good choice. Because he also seems like someone who's going to be around for a while. And he takes a big beating up front, and he has a huge opportunity for having a lot of strength. I'm going for it, even if it might be a bit much. Bam! Maxed out that 17 strength. After that... some more exertion would be probably nice, because he's got that big pool of wisdom, of willpower, and he can't actually use it. So I think that's the way to go now. So right now he's got strength resist, Let's take a look around, because now I can shop around for these rank 4 items no one else could use. +3 to armor break is a ton. 1 willpower per turn +3 willpower is also pretty great. 1 armor per turn. Oh, he can use that finally. The regenerating armor. I think that's the way to go. Yep. Take this tanky character and keep him more alive. The armor break is also tempting. But as a high strength character, his role is often to do the health damage instead of the armor damage. Or so I think. Alright, so we have somebody use the thread now. At least not even using an item right now, because she was taken out of the party. And at the moment she has nothing to use. But she may be a better option than Nid. I don't know. We'll have to figure out our party composition next time a fight shows up. For now, I'll continue onward. We could rest, but damn, supplies? You crazy. I don't think I can get away with resting. Seems like a bad idea. We'll just have to hope we can get away with, you know, fewer betrayals this time. Day 115. This journey's taken half a year already. Well, not really. That's like 180 days, I guess, so never mind. But it's still a long time. Up ahead, a scout shouts. Some giant hall, but it's empty. You approach the structure but recognize none of the markings. The walls seem unsteady at best. Finally, sleeping beneath a roof, you overhear. Several families begin unpacking. But the walls seem unsteady. That's questionable. We sleep in comfort tonight. Keep everyone back till you're sure it's safe. It's abandoned for a reason, leave it. Look for any clues as to why it was abandoned. Let's be cautious, make sure it's safe. Several volunteers search the building with weapons drawn. Just as they announce in all clear, a varl leans against the support, which gives way, and a third of the structure crumbles. Luckily, no one is injured, but you leave the crumbling building behind. Yep, nothing holding that place together. Ooh, a camp. Supplies, please. Which I spent a lot of my renown already, unfortunately, so that's not great news. But maybe there'll be an event. I'm always so I just want to level my characters up, but I have to worry about supplies all the time. The villagers here are completely oblivious to the destruction that is coming. All we've seen is some dark figures far off, they tell you. Aside from a few young families, they're reluctant to pick up their things and join you. 15 clansmen. Yeah, you say a few young families, that really is just a few. Depending on how... I kind of wonder, actually. When we talk about clansmen, do we include children in that total? Just trying to think of, like, is that, like, say, 7 families? Or is it, like, 3 or 4 families? It's not a lot either way. Let's visit the market. We get... Oh, yeah, every renown gives us 5. That's an upgrade for us. Can't afford anything, because I only have 4 renown in the first place, I believe. Yeah. What's this thing, though? 1 will per kill. That's kind of nice. That's in addition to the 1 will that goes to the horn. There's a few cool things here. This is a razor that gives you 3 will on a rest. A well-honed razor crafted by Haldan, known for a steady hand, calm presence, and a will to exceed limits. It's a lot of will to get really quickly. Although, if you're resting often, how much fight's going to be left in some of these cases, though? I'm going to get supplies, because we desperately need some of those, because we're doing terribly. And so now we have 4 days of supplies. Dare I rest? Morale's pretty bad. I feel like if morale gets too bad, they might even start leaving, but I don't know how much I can do to fix that. Everything's pretty fucked, and we have no will. I probably shouldn't be leveling people up at all. I probably should just be accepting that. Let's try resting once. Alright, hope that was enough for you guys. Welcome back to the road, where we're all going to slowly starve to death in the cold. But hey, it's getting less cold. Look at those green hills. Those are nice. Good change of pace, right? Please. I'm somewhat disappointed that they didn't draw more cities. They're clearly recycling some of the cityscapes that we visited in the past in the game, which is kind of a bummer because the setting's changing. in this place in particular, that last city was in a pretty flat area, but they showed us the same mountainous city, the same hilly city we saw from like the beginning of the game. Stop! A resolute voice calls from somewhere in front of you. The surrounding terrain comes alive with armed fighters surrounding the caravan. No need for bloodshed, the leader says. Leave a couple wagons and pretend you never even stopped here. A counter threat would be pretty great, because we really need... Frankly, I need supplies more than they do, probably. How about you leave what you've got instead? The counter offer takes the leader by surprise for a moment. We don't have time for this nonsense, hisses Oddleaf, loosing an arrow before anyone can react. The brigand leader falls over in a spray of blood. Holy crap. That wound has not made her patience grow. Something sinister in the way Kumar laughs about this turn of events convinces the rest of the brigands to give up on their errand and beat a hasty retreat. I like your girl, Rook, he says, to which Oddleaf gives him a dirty look. What? We didn't get any supplies for that? That's a bummer. I was hoping that we'd get their supplies. Someone's been nicking extra goods from the supplies, a concerned woman tells you. Counted them myself yesterday. No mistake. This keeps up. We'll all be starving before long. That's already true. Let's see. Extra guards. Ask people if they've seen something suspicious. Announce that any more missing supplies results in rationing. Or tell me if you see it again. The problem with the rationing threat is I feel like it would cause... I feel like that announcement would basically cause... First of all, it'd probably encourage that person to steal more so they can avoid the rationing. But, probably absolutely kills morale. Granted, we're out of morale and supplies basically right now, so it's not exactly a big problem at the moment. we're talking... Which of these things is going to be zero? My morale? My resolve? Or my, supplies? I guess I'll just post guards. Hopefully that works out. To deter any further theft, you discreetly place some trusted guards by the caravan. You hear a few people casually point out the extra manpower, but nobody seems to raise an alarm for now. I hope this godstone is the magical godstone of plenty that gives you 50,000 supplies for freezies, for real. Because otherwise, we're not gonna have a great time. I christened the godstone Angrybeard. Is it a war godstone? Is that what he looks like he'd be a war character. The imposing godstone of Beru approaches. His severe visage makes it feel like he's watching you, even now. The caravan spreads out, happy to be free of the confining forest and in open fields. Which could be a trap. It makes you a good target, right? Hogan pulls you aside to show you some red berries growing on an ash tree that looks like it was chopped down long ago. These shouldn't be growing here, he says excitedly. I haven't seen these in a long time. He and Mogan busily go about collecting berries. In fact, in honor of Bjorulf, some of the caravan crack kegs of mead and wine before anyone can stop them. To the only god that matters, they shout. Everyone drinks, and you're glad for the merriment that has swept over the caravan. It's a chance for a little happiness. Let's take a look at the godstone. We usually learn something about that. You look up at the godstone. Bjorulf's head, surrounded by images of casks and drinking horns. Oh, so he's the alcoholic one. Though he was always depicted as being stern, Bjorulf was one of the more popular gods of men and varl, the one that taught them how to brew. It seems like more than coincidence that the long fields around Bjorulf's stone have always been excellent for growing anything you could need for a good drink. We can join the merrymakers, join the Hogan in collecting berries, or get everyone to travel again. So I figure merrymakers means more resolve, but Hogan means more berries. I think we need supplies more than anything. If this can result in more supplies, that'd be great, because otherwise we're gonna start losing clansmen to our starvation. So let's join Hogan in collecting berries. What exactly are these, you ask Hogan? When I would travel to Boersgard with my father, sometimes he'd buy us a few of these. Hogan replies, couldn't be a luckier find, see for yourself. You try one, and can feel energy returning to your tired limbs. Not taking a few more would be a wasted opportunity, you figure. As the hour becomes late, the caravan is eventually ready to get back on the road. The day of Eurof's stone is one of the few memories that hasn't been tarnished by the specter of bad fortune, you think to yourself. We got a tistleberry! Okay, we got a trinket, but that's not supplies, which is what I was hoping for. We have another trinket in our incredibly long list, growing list of trinkets at this point. In hindsight, I guess that's probably why we didn't. Oh, here comes more dead people for day 121. Oh, didn't quite trigger yet. Maybe we'll have a surprise amount of supplies in a second here. I'm thinking that might be the reason why Hakon's playthrough seemed to be totally devoid of trinkets. While it was so easy to get trinkets in a Rook's playthrough. And I think it's because of the fact that Hakon quickly stops being a part of the story, so they didn't want you to spend to resolve on trinkets. A scout returns with a nearly frozen child. I almost stepped on her in the snow. Looks like she must have been running from something, he says. Patches of blue mottle her pale skin, but her chest rises and falls ever so slightly. Even just carrying her along could kill her in a state like this, says a woman. We could be in danger here, points out another. So we can keep moving but let the healers tend to her, stop the caravan for a rest to tend to the girl, or stop to look for other survivors. There's a question, huh? Should we be looking for other people around here? Ah. Damn it. I don't want to stick around because other people are dying, but what if there's a bunch of people around here? I can't help but be curious. Is there some great catastrophe? 1 hour, you shout. Look for any other survivors. Healers, do what you can. A fire flares to life as you follow the scout's lead. Your search is fruitless, and you return to a fully settled camp. The healers still fuss with the girl's blankets, but it looks hopeful that she'll pull through. The next day you set out again. And now we're losing people to starvation.
Reynivik is more of a smattering of farmhouses than a proper town. Though judging by stray dredge stalking through empty fields, it is barely even that anymore.
And now we are starving. We are at rock bottom. I'm pretty sure all three of those stats are at bare minimum. Not talking about the troops, but the three stats next to the troops are just... Nope. Reynivik comes and goes as a long series of farmhouses abandoned and crawling with dredge. The farmers have probably already fled to Boersgard. You try to hurry past but are eventually spotted. Dredge start ambling in your direction. What is that? Points out Oddleaf. Up near one of the longhouses. In the distance, a large person, clothed seemingly covered in blood, is cursing loudly and stumbling about. He staggers into a longhouse, laughing. The dredge heading your direction turn back, roaring, and begin to pound on the longhouse door. They seem to be holding a grudge against this particular person. You doubt the door will hold long. What the hell is going on here? So there's just some guy just showing up out of the blue who apparently is some great villain of the dredge. In many ways, it might be our best opportunity just to run because we're so low on supplies that dwelling for longer is bad, but on the other hand, if we could clear the dredge, maybe this town has something we can use. There's a lot of possibilities, and he might even be a recruit that we could add to the crew. Alright, well, here's my logic here. We have no supplies, no morale, basically nothing to go on, so even if we leave, we're screwed. If we stay, we're screwed. No matter what we do at this point, we're kind of screwed. I mean, I don't think we're like in game over territory or anything like that. I'm sure that this is like the rock bottom period where various decisions can probably still lead to changes and so on. But I figure, hey, here's a big tough guy holed up in a building fighting dredge. He's strong. he's alive. So if he's alive out here, he might know something about supplies, he might know where we can go next, he might have information that can help us. But if nothing else, if we save him, maybe he'll become a party member? And if he's surviving against the dredge on his own, he might be powerful enough already. So I'm going to try to help. Against my better judgment, we should probably do something, you say. The others agree, even though it means putting them all at risk. As you quietly approach, the dredge have managed to splinter the door and break through. "Hey!" shouts a varl wearing all red, standing on the other side of the dredge. "Came all the way up here just for me." He seems unconcerned about the dredge as he hoists his enormous sword. He looks exactly like Gunnulf, except for the red-green thing. Scarlet Fe- Oh, he's a oh my god, he's level 5. Can I keep him? He is a Gunnulf. He's just Gunnulf, but level 5, which I don't even feel like I cheated at getting that, because Gunnulf was level 5 when I left him. Didn't I get him to level 5? I think he's the first character I ever got to level 5, and then he died to a goddamn wagon when I was unconscious, which is tragic. Alright, Sigbjorn, welcome to the crew. Happy to see you. He starts off with 14 strength, so not quite as high as he could get, and there's no upgrading him because all of his points are pre-spent. 10 strength, 10 armor, 14 strength, a little bit of willpower, and he can use 2 at a time, but only twice. Some armor break. All right, probably would have spent his points a little differently, but I mean, we're late in the game at this point, so level 5 joining us is probably good. Scarlet Feather, +2 movement, -1 drawing aggro. Interesting. Don't know if I would want him to have that. Let's see. What does Avon have again? +2 armor per turn. Let's give that to Sigbjorn instead. Probably. Yeah. Because Avon is my caster who is easy to defeat, but very useful to keep around. Let's see, the berries give me +2 will when I rest. I think I like the other thing better. Where was it? Yeah, -1 to drawing aggro. I like the idea. If he has bonus movement, that means it'll be easier to get him in position to do lightning on just the right spot. Because that's when him using that skill at the right moment is really what makes him useful. And if he's not drawing aggro, hopefully that means that people will leave him alone so he doesn't go down unexpectedly when I want him to stay alive. Armor break. Ooh, armor break is also handy. 1 will per turn, +3 willpower. Would be good for being able to just do bonus damage all the time. Strength resist. There's good options around here. But the fact that he's a level 5 makes him one of the only people who can use some of these other items. Ooh, what was that? +3 strength. Dunder's hand. And then 2 armor per turn. I'll do the 3 strength. No one else can use that, and that could be devastating. That'll take him up to 17 to match our other varl, who also sits around at 17. We'll have 2 17 armor, strength varl with varying amounts of armor. So obviously Rook's going to be in there, so is Avond. Look at all these high-level characters we have all of a sudden. When did that happen? Should I still keep bringing Krumer around? He's got so much strength. That's 3 17 strength characters. That's devastating. I guess the question is, who do I use as my last crew member now? And Alette just seems important, so I feel like I should be leveling her up because she's the daughter. It's kind of a bummer that I'm thinking about this in terms of who do I think is the most important character, though. Because Oddleaf would be nice to level up too. They're not going to take her away again, are they? They already tried to kill her once. Surely I get to keep her now. And frankly, I like Oddleaf, so I'd like to just have her not die, if we could do that. Let's find her an item. Please, don't kill her, game. 2 will on rest is not great. Bonus strength, chance of double damage. Yeah, let's take the Trig V necklace off of her. Off of Nid. Nid, you can stand around on reserve for when another character probably dies horribly and unexpectedly, just to mess with me. Everyone got their items? Yep. Probably should have had Oddleaf go after Rook. I realized that the last second. Well, we have 3 characters with swords and or axes, two-handing it, ready to just plunge them through people. We were way too far back, first of all. Get you guys a little closer. Oh yeah, They have 10, 11, and 12 armor, but all of them have 17 strength. That is a nice big old wall of varl. Let's see. Put the lowest armor guy in the corner so he's less likely to be targeted. Put the high armor character closer to the various enemies down there. Okay, so he can't summon. He can summon. So this guy back here is someone to prioritize getting taken down. They also have high strength, but frankly, my strength is getting higher faster at this point. People in the back go last. You have bonus movement, so we can keep you over on the corner somewhere to try to keep an eye on these characters for when they make the mistake of standing close together, hopefully. We'll have you two stand together. I don't know what the best approach is going to be at that point. Maybe we should move everything over slightly. Give these two characters some movement range so that they're hopefully not stuck behind someone. And we will give it a go. Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. I will only do 1 damage at first, but you know what? I'll make it up to you guys, right? All right. Armor break. Get that trend started. Next up is Ivor, who can do similar. Ooh, or approach these sling characters up here. Wouldn't that be nice? Knock adjacent units up to 4 tiles for 1 armor damage plus 1 per unit they pass through. Or rank 2 would be 3 armor damage plus whoever they pass through. Some of these characters are not likely to pass through a lot though, but I could just walk up and deck one in the face, which sounds like fun. 9 and 8. Alright, this one will do 8 damage to a 9 health character. Taking them down to the last little particle of usefulness while scattering some damage about. Okay, didn't expect him to come this way. Poor one-armed Ivor. Just sticking it out. Oh well, we can do some damage to that guy. Okay. Oh, it's your turn. Right. Let's work on this big guy. There goes one of his... That's one of their highest strength characters, I believe. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was by a fair margin the toughest character on the entire board that isn't mine. Now they're all relatively weak compared to some of my units. None of the enemies are currently diagonal, unfortunately, which somewhat nullifies my usefulness in this character. Ivor could use some armor, though. Can I cast that from here? First of all, look how far I can move. Wow. So I can just stay all the way back here, because mend can be used from a distance. Let's keep him healthy, because they're going to target him next. I feel like my force has gotten really dangerous now, and it feels good. Attack as a group. I feel like Oddleaf has to be in range, right? To attack. So mark prey. There we go. Oh yeah, that went according to plan. Stacked up some damage nicely. If Oddleaf stands still, she does bonus damage. Doesn't seem like it's going to help very much. We'll work on the armor. There we go. Howdy, friends. Oh, right. That's such a fluid animation. He also threw that behind him, so he's doing... Oh, he threw it in front of him and behind him. He can throw them in 2 totally separate directions, apparently. Hello, friend. Get decked. Their toughest guy's this 11 down here. Which one's their summoner again? This guy's their summoner, so it's a good thing I've got him down to 5 health so I can take him down quickly later if I need to. Let's see. 7 would take that guy out, which is a little ahead of things, perhaps. This guy's going to throw explosives around. Let's just take care of him right now. I'd prefer to avoid him just casually exploding things for the rest of the fight. Ow. And now they're grouping up more. Now I can do lightning on these two once we get to that character's turn. See, 3 damage, 2 damage. A little torn here. I think I'm going to go for this guy, though. Hey, cut it out. Alright. We have to be very careful about how I aim this one. So let's confirm its distance. Alright, so I need to go diagonal 3. 1, 2, 3. Really hope that reduced aggro pays off, because the range is problematic. But I'm trying to do this attack. Hopefully, yep, I did it right. Oh, I could have gone away with being one more to the right, it looks like. Oh well, I already blew it. Already blew it. Blow them to hell now. There we go. That's a handy spell to have around. Yeah, I'm hoping that his reduced aggro range will hopefully help in this kind of situation. Let's see. Not a lot of people are going to be able to help over here, but I can try. Yeah, let's try to work on this dude. At some point, I just like using Mark Prey a lot. Ooh. He hit him hard. Did I see negative 10 for a second there? I think he might have done a double. Does he have crit? He has armor per turn, which is not making the biggest difference right now, unfortunately. What we can do is we can lay a trap. Rain of arrows. Oops, not there. Rain of arrows trap in front of these guys. Hey, come walk through this. Since I can't reach him from here, might as well just put it right there on the floor. Since he's probably going to come try to attack somebody next turn. They're trying to summon. Well, we can't be having that now, can we? Don't have the will for Tempest right now, but I can do other things. Oh wait, no, I have a horn. I should have done Tempest. Ooh, they're all lining up for a nice diagonal lightning attack. How promising. Let's carefully avoid walking through. So is it like control or shift? Let's see. So I should be able to go around the trap, right? If I carefully click around it, should be. Yep, we're good to go. Gives me the opportunity to avoid the obvious problem. I don't really want to battering ram him because I'm trying to hit him with lightning next turn if I can line that up properly. So let's bust some armor. And right there is the light. I guess he won't be walking through the arrow trap now, but at least I avoided walking through it myself. Friend. How you feeling, buddy? Oh, that was just a regular attack. Alright. Hey, Avend. Guess what kind of fun you get to have. Whee! That didn't bounce at all. Alright, still misjudging how to use that skill a little bit, I guess. Still, they don't have a lot of units left. So I'm not too concerned about that. I could use one morale here. There we go. Put a proper dent in that armor, which will bounce. Oh, Ivor. It's almost as if he had one arm or something. I have to get slightly closer to attack. Tragically. And that attack is not likely to do a lot besides denting some armor, so let's get busy on that. And a proper varl will be ready to take a chunk out of him next turn. Can't reach him with this guy, so might as well just finish the job over here. Or not, actually. Maybe I'll just stay put. We don't want the other guy to get too many turns too soon. Because he's still dangerous with his 11. Yep, as expected, that guy's 3 is just less consequential at this point. This guy has he has an exertion of 0. So just hit him. Can't do any bonus damage. That guy's down to 1. Yep, then now they can't even really hurt me properly. Which is just kind of cute at this point. How's armor doing? That guy could use some more. There you go, buddy. Did I even heal his armor? I just realized his willpower's down to 0, which is not good for that. That skill uses half your willpower to increase your will. Yeah, increases them by half their willpower, which means that I basically did 0. But hey, Rook finally got to do a killing blow, so that's fun. And these slings are kind of adorably useless at this point. Even Oddleaf gets a kill. Plink. Ow. You're gonna pay for that one. Should I intentionally... Yeah, he's weak. Let's get behind him to kind of trap his direction and maybe attack his armor. But I don't want to attack with this character because he's level 5. Krumer could use the kill. There we go. I'm being smart about it a little bit. Victory. Weirdly music-free victory. 10 renown. Cool. Welcome to my mead house. Sigbjorn's House of Mead. I'm very creative namer. I wasn't expecting a varl this far south, or this drunk. I can see that. There are people huddled in the corners of the mead hall, looking on with uneasiness. Who are all these? Who are you people? No, they're friends. They just made this place. They're not really mine. You lured Dredge back to a room full of unarmed people. What's wrong with you? Come on, I saved everyone in here. They shared some fine drink, the best drink. Wait. I was saving your ass, remember that part? If you knew you'd come up here, you could have done, if you knew you'd come up here, you could have told me. What? Whatever. What do we do with this guy? I mean, yeah, anyone here is welcome to join us. We need all the help we can get because everything's a mess. The townspeople show you a huge stack of barrels filled with quality mead and help you haul them back to the caravan. Whoa, that's a chunk of supplies. Nice. I'll miss this place. Good memories. So he's joining? We have 3 days of supplies! And we have a level 5 varl joining the crew. These are both good things. he had some punch to him. We have 3 characters that can really hit hard now. With some help, you gather up the casks of mead and head back to the caravan. Sigbjorn and the other survivors in tow. The caravan gives the boisterous varl a large berth as you set out for Boersgard. So how big of a jump are we talking about here? Going to Boersgard? Right down here. That's not too bad. We only started... Yeah, we kind of have been doing this trek since Sigrahome, so Boersgard is not a huge chunk of progress when we're trying to get all the way down to Aberang. We'll see how this works out. I do try to constantly look at the map. Even I can't make decisions about the map, but I like to have an idea of what's going on in this story. Alright, we got a few new crew members. We have a few tiny, scant days of supplies. What did I do? Sigbjorn wakes in a pool of his own sick. Why am I surrounded by small people? The other clansmen let him sleep off his drunken stupor on the ground, and this morning he's paying the price. Geez, leave and make sure he doesn't follow? No, he could be so good. I have to take a risk. He's level 5. Help him recover. Reluctantly, your clansmen offer any food and drink they can scrounge together for the moaning varl. When one offers thin mead, he pushes it away. In fact, take this away from me, he says, handing you his massive mead stein. -1 supplies. Just one guy on his own. Jeez. Eventually, Sigbjorn comes to you. I won't get into details, he says. I was supposed to bring those casks from Reynivik back to Boersgard. I drank maybe half, by accident. Point is, Sigbjorn continues, you don't tell anyone what happened, and I won't tell anyone about the mead you got, okay? Trust me on this one. You agree and get back to travel. We got a blessing from him. We got 2 items from one character. We got the thing that gives you bonus range and reduced aggro, which even though we hadn't met yet, I gave to a different character. And then I got his blessing. Several women are talking expressively at the young girl found nearly frozen to death. Now called Alrosa. Alrosa? Something like that. The quiet child's face expresses quiet terror, aggressively jabbing at the dirt with a stick with which she clearly used to draw on the ground. Let's see. Avoid her making a scene, study her drawings, try to talk to her. Let's see her drawings. Maybe she's can express something that she knows about that she's not willing to articulate. The markings are somewhat intricate. The squares and circles could be wagons, including a depiction of yaks in front. A line from the yaks leads to deeper gouges where Alrosa has jabbed the stick repeatedly. Depending on how you look at it, though, it could be almost anything. Try to talk to her? You're safe, Alrosa, you say, looking into the girl's deep blue eyes. She calms a bit before stepping towards you. Using her stick to point at the deep gouges in the ground she previously made, she whispers, "Edge, edge, edge." It doesn't mean anything to you, but you feel like you've connected with her a bit. Yay. Crap. I bet that's a really bad warning about something that's coming up and we have no idea what it means. And we're gonna probably pay for it. I just assume everything's bad in this game. There's reasons to think that. Cool, we're back down to no supplies. Doesn't help that he drank so much of them. Harsh words from one mother to another draw the attention of the entire caravan. My daughter marries Raini or no one. That reed-thin tramp you call a daughter won't provide sons. The insulted mother bares her teeth, ready to attack. Oh, god damn it, guys. Explain yourselves. Raini chooses my daughter on his own, the insulted mother says, but this one thinks I have something to do with it. Launching forward, the first woman flails wildly, shouting, "Liar!" The women are separated and eventually calm down, but you worry that this is far from over. Oh, we didn't have any feedback. We just had... all we did was acknowledge that it happened and move on.
As we pass steep cliffs, the sprawl of Boersgard comes into view. A city of contrasting rich and poor, opportunity and gamble. Our best hope for salvation, or our graves.